Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I want to thank you for supporting the channel so far. If you're watching me and you've not subscribed, why? Please press on the subscribe button. Don't forget to share, like and comment on this channel. Today we are learning how to make Iro and Buba. I have 5 yards of lace fabric here. I'm going to be starting out by cutting the wrapper. That's the Iro aspect of this project. So you see, when you want to cut out Iro for an average sized body, you'll do 2 yards and 14 inches. For a medium sized person, you could do 2 yards and 16 inches. For a plus size person, it's safe to say you should stick with 2 yards and 18 inches. So I'm going to be removing the wrapper. That's the first thing I'm going to remove from this. Measure it out. 36. This is the first 36. Then we take it again. And then we'll be doing 14 inches. Yes. So we'll cut it off. You go to the lower part as well and you measure seam out and you cut it off. So I've gone ahead to cut out the Iro. Okay, so now I want to talk about the Buba. There are basic measurements that we are going to need for this Buba. You start your measurement from your collarbone to wherever you want the sleeve to be. The old traditional way, let me call it old school, of sewing Buba was to make your sleeve to be long. But these days, people don't usually make their sleeves to get to the side of their wrist. You know, usually people stop at 3/4 at the elbow region or 3/4 region, or just a little above. But if you want yours to still reach the wrist side, is fine. So what you're going to do is you take your tape roll, you place it on the collarbone at the back of your neckline, and you measure the client or measure yourself, as the case may be, to wherever you want the sleeve to get to. So we have it in such a way that I want this to be 3/4. So from the collar of my bone, I want it to be 125, 25 inches. So take the upper side. If your bust is more than your hip, or if your hip is more than your bust, whichever one, but you could do the bust. You could do the bust, but make sure that it is free. Your normal bust measurements, you could have maybe like 3 inches to it or 4 inches to make it free, because Buba is not meant to be fitted. But you need to bear in mind that your Buba length has to be 1 inch or 2 inch below, you know, your hip line, so that when you are tying the wrapper, the Buba will slip well in the on the inside of it. So you go by taking your blouse length, making sure that it goes like 1 inch or 2 inches below the hip. So in this case I'm having 27 as the length. My hip is hip 44, while my bust is 40, but I'm not going to be doing 40, so I'm going to free it and have it like this. Yeah, so this is 44. This is 44. If I take it to my hip as well, you know, it's free. So with that in mind, let's measure out what we had initially. Neck, collar, backbone to the sleeve is 25. So I'll measure out buba length rather is 27. So this 27 is one way. I will double it. I will double it like so. So if I take it out now, it will be 27 plus 27, that should be 54. Like this. That means this one part is 27, the second part is 27. Because in cutting buba, we don't join shoulders. It's a cut together thing. That's why I'm doubling it. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. And I go to the other side as well and make sure I'm having 27 as well. So I'll cut it out. So I've gone ahead to cut it out. So this is what I'll be using for my buba. But bearing in mind that you're going to be using the salvage parts. So what I then did, the length 27, I did it in 2 places. I folded it. This is into 2. So I'm going to fold it again. I've gone ahead to fold it into 4. We have our length as measured out 26. Yeah, I later made it 26. I didn't want it to be too long. 26. If it were to be an ankara, you could leave it on 27 because you will then have to fold it. But bear in mind that for lace, you're going to be making use of the salvage parts of the lace. That's the scallop part of the lace as the lower part. For an average, you want to measure out the neckline now. For an average buba neckline is usually 3.5 by 4.5. But depend on the customer you are working with. There are some that like their buba to be wide. But no matter how wide it is, please don't go beyond 4.5 to 4.5 by 5. Don't go and do buba to be 5. It will be too wide because you're still going to pipe the neckline, and it might not necessarily give the buba effect again. So in this case, I'm going to be doing 3.5. That's the standard normal thing to work with, by 4.5. I like buba neckline to be really curvy, so I would advise you use your curve ruler. And if you know that you can get the U perfectly well with your free hand, it's fine. So with my curve ruler, I have that, and that's it. We don't slant buba neckline because we don't join it. We leave it just the way it is. I measured out my bust and my hip the other time, and we had 44 divided by 4 will give us 11. It will give us 11, yeah. But I'm going to add 1.5 inches to it. Yeah, my bust is 10 in itself. I've already added 4 to make it very free, and now I'm adding 1.5. So I'm going to use half to sew it. So technically what I added to my bust is 5 inches. I'm going to use half inch to sew it. So I added that. So for your armhole, if your armhole, your normal armhole standard is 9, but because it's buba now, you can add 1.5, 2 inches to it, making it to be 11. If you are sewing for CC, leave it at 10. If you are sewing for middle-aged, do it middle-aged, do it at 10 as well, 10.5. But if you're sewing for our agbalagbas, our elderly mommies, leave it at 11. So let's leave this at 11. And we have some middle age too that just like it really free, leave it at 11. But if you're sewing for someone that is really on the plus size, you could do 11 and a half. I would cut. So I'll come to where we'll be having the buba, where we marked as the armhole, and I will notch it. I'll come to the shoulder part as well, and I would notch it so that when I'm joining the sleeve to it, you know, easily I will know that this is where I'm to join the sleeve. So that's about it. So you know, for the length we had 25. So now I will say 25 minus, what do we have here? 25 minus 13, that's 12. So that means what I have to join to this thing, what I have left here will be 12. So I will measure out that 12 inches. That's going to serve as my sleeve. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That will serve as my sleeve. In cutting out the sleeve as well, you have to bear in mind that you have to use the scallop part. That's the edge of the lace. If you're working with Ankara, it will be a different thing entirely. So what I'm going to fold out will be 12 inches. With this type of lace, I will advise you you pin it down, you know, so it's not shifting and moving and all of that. Your 12 inches together with the joining allowance. I added 1.5 to that other one, so that's about it. So that will give me 13.5. So I'll do 13.5 all the way around. If you can do it this way, you will really preserve fabric. This is it. So you see, using the salvage for the lower part of the sleeve, so I'm going to have to turn it. So when I turn it, what I need left to make up the backbone to the sleeve length measurement is 25. For the other one, for the buba, I did 11 and I added 1.5 inch allowance, so that will give me, technically I'll be using 1/2 inch to sew. That will give me 12. So what I'll be needing here, the length I'll be needing here now will be 13 inches as my length to join it to the main buba. So I'll cut this out. Remember that the armhole that I marked out was 11 inches. Yeah. So you have to, you can bring the upper part of your buba just so you're sure. Yeah. Can you see? One was 11, so I'm going to put my sewing allowance to it. I'll add 1.5 inches as well, which will give me 12.5. Now gracefully cut it out. Yeah, so you succeeded in cutting the 2 sleeves with notch. You know, I've not cut the neckline suggest to pin it down. That's it. So I go ahead and I join it together. So if you then measure, you will see that we'll be having the 25, you know, and that's it. You go ahead. So what I'll do now is I'll take my bias tape. I'm going to be using white bias. I'll use it. I'll sew round it like that. When I'm done sewing, I'll turn it to the other side, and you can hem it. You can use hemming to now hem it so that the thread doesn't show, or you can sew it. You can do any of the two. Then I'll take my buba, front side facing front side. My notched buba is here, my notched sleeve is here. I merge the two together. I'll go ahead and sew. Can you see? I'll do the same thing for the second. Okay, so this is our bias, white bias. You use matching color. I pick it and I place it on the neckline as so. And I cut the bias, you place it, you start sewing. Take it, you fold it as so, and then you fold it again like this. So I was saying you can use hemming gum. You can put hemming gum under and iron it on it like that. But for this one, I'm going to be sewing it. So you stitch all the way around. Yeah, so this is what the neckline is looking like. So I'll go ahead and join the front side, facing the front side, the notch part facing the notched part. So I sew it. Let these two join in at the armhole region. Let them meet. Turn it. About 4 inches. I'll do 4 inches. You could do 4 inches, you could do 5 inches. You know, I will leave it as the vent region. I didn't sew this part, so I'm going to fold it in. Ahead and give your buba a good press. Sleeve. So for your wrapper, all you will do is you will fold, and then you fold again, and then you sew on it. Do it for the right side and do it for the left side.